Hi guys, Sandra here of the blog thesensiblemom.com, and today is day +5, and I'm gonna give the day +1 through up to today, day +5's update. I haven't been making videos, obviously. The past few days have been mentally and now physically exhausting, so I'm really tired, and every day is a little different, and every day seems to have a new set of challenges. And so I'm just trying to go with that, and I will keep trying to make movies as I'm able to. So, starting with day +1. Day +1 was really good, actually. David's energy level was up, he was playing, he was moving around the room. Everything seemed to be really great. And so I thought that hopefully, that'll continue. But on day +2, I talked to David's doctor and I said, this is what's happening, and do you think this is going to continue? And unfortunately, she said she didn't think it was going to continue. She said she's anticipating a fever. She's anticipating he's going to start feeling really crummy, and she was right. Unfortunately, that same day, David's energy level on day +2 was just way down. He was throwing up that day. He threw up like on three separate occasions that day, complaining of stomach pain, and it was just overall a really crummy day for him. He did push his pain button that night on day +2, and then he was emotional after that. That night he was crying, and he wasn't emotional in a mean and aggressive way, which can happen, which did happen on day +4 after I pushed the pain button. But on day +2, when he pushed the pain button that night, he was just like crying and really emotional and like just saying things like "I love you, mommy" and everything. I talked to his nurse about it like the next day, and I said, this happened, and do you think that that could have been the pain medicine or the steroid? And she said she thought it was a steroid. So I'm like, okay, it wasn't anything really bad or anything, but it was just out of the ordinary for sure. So that was pretty much day +2. Day +3 was okay, not too bad. Energy level still wasn't normal for David, but it was an okay day overall. Day +4 started out pretty okay, not fabulous, but it was okay. And then he was having some stomach pain in the evening time, and he pushed his pain button, and that time it affected him in a whole new way. It was horrible. He had like a really bad episode, similar to Benadryl, but different, and it seemed to last a lot longer, and he stayed awake through the whole thing. So he was just being very irrational, behaving very erratically, screaming and crying and saying that I was doing bad stuff to him. He wanted to not have his diaper changed, and he just wanted to wear the same diaper that I had already taken off of him, and he was saying that I was breaking his heart, and that was really hard to hear. But he was saying the thing that he was just repeating the same thing over and over and over again. He didn't want me to call the nurse. He like threw my phone across the room, and it was just a really bad episode. The nurse gave him some Ativan, and that seemed to help. But for the rest of the night, he was just not himself still, and he was just not himself. It started with he pushed the pain button, and he was like playing and everything in bed, and then I was like, David, I gotta change your diaper, and I started to change his diaper, and he just became this angry, angry, angry person, and I knew that wasn't David. So I just kind of try to go with it, like I know that this is not David. Something here is affecting him, either the steroid or the pain med or a combination of them. But the whole situation just escalated, and he just kept getting worse and worse. emotionally and his behavior. He wasn't like aware of what was going on with his lines, and by the end of the night he ended up with a bruise on his like on his side, and then he ended up with a really bad bruise on his leg. So the nurse gave him an ice pack yesterday, and then he ended up having to get platelets last night because his platelets dropped down to 14, and when he goes below 20 he gets a platelet transfusion. So she gave him platelets last night, and it was just a rough night overall. He wanted me to lay with him, and so he wanted me to and to like hold him a certain way. So I had to hold him a certain way throughout the night, and it was just really rough. And this morning, the nurse knew that I had a rough night. So, and it was just rough yesterday. So today's day +5. Hopefully things go better today, but I'll try to make a video either tonight or tomorrow to update you on how things went today. That's pretty much it. David's beeping now. One of his monitors is beeping, so I'm going to let the nurse know, and I will see you again in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.